oh my God, we have to cover this. This is a, shall we say, of questionable quality edit in MS Paint, probably, showing someone inside, fat, indolent, lazy, reclining in a chair and drinking, while someone outside is marching. And the edit has changed the person marching to look like Patriot Front, and the person inside to look like a MAGA supporter. Now, what have you noticed, Chad?
MAGA with Bud Light.
That's what I noticed first as well.
That's what I said. Thought immediately. It's a Bud Light can.
Now, the fun thing about that is probably what that was it was put there to try to piss off MAGA. But that also sacrifices the truth value of the meme. So it now looks like a self-parody because it's like, this is the opposite of reality. Now, the Patriot Front types would tend to believe that by going out and marching, they are doing something. And the things that MAGA are doing aren't having any effect at all. I struggle to understand how they can believe that. The marches have, as far as I can tell,
this seems like a lefty meme,
have changed,
honestly.
maybe, but have changed nothing. Now, maybe they've had a small sort of social effect. Maybe they've probably given some sort of like social connection to those that are in the group, and that's fine. But it's a small thing, and it doesn't need to be growing very quickly. Meanwhile, look at the achievements of MAGA so far. The entire movement, everything that has got better in the last 5 years, every little tiny thing in the US politically has been in some way connected to MAGA. And now you've got Trump coming back to the extent that they had to rig him out to defend their corruption. MAGA has the correct strategy. Patriot Front are Nazi LARPers. And I'm saying that literally. They are fascists. They're fascist LARPers. MAGA has the correct approach. And part of that is not buying Bud Light. And even if
Patriot Front just Federal Agent Incorporated?
Yeah, it's a strong suspicion, yeah. Even if MAGA are sitting down to do their work, it's working better than the marches. The Patriot Front is anti-American, just in case you guys didn't know. Anti-American, in that it is fascist.
If they're at this point, when I hear they're a fascist, it's like, oh, so you're a Nazi fanboy, probably. Then, okay, got you. It's like that whole Nazis. It's destroyed. Like it's completely crazy how
it's compensation for low testosterone at this point. Yeah, as Solna says, my first suspicion was feds because who can fucking blame me? I have a slightly more nuanced view now that I strongly suspect some sort of federal involvement, but it like either way, they have done nothing to reduce the image that they are feds. They have done nothing to reduce that image, and yet they complain about it. Fix it yourself, guys.
They've also said as well that a lot of them in it were like either military or were military or something. So there is
there's some arguments on both sides for that.
Too.
We know more than one person who is in it or knows people who are in it. So it's not all feds at the very least. Solna says, referring to call them fascists.
Pro big government though.
They are in fact Solna fascists, having looked at their website and their beliefs. And they would be pro big government in that sense. Yeah, it's not exactly.
Apparently, they've called themselves fascist, or like.
Oh yeah, well,
have they?
I think they may have actually specifically called themselves fascist, but their ideology is clearly fascist. If you look at their website, they have like headings for like national pride, liberty, self-determination, things that sound American, but you read what they're saying, and they leave out the American bits. It's just American headers with fascist ideas beneath them.
Well, I was going to say as well, the flags that they're like walking around with is an altered American flag, right? Like that's not the proper American flag that they're going around with, which is kind of telling in and of itself, right?
Some of them use the original flag,
the ones marching were not. The videos of the ones marching,
most of them don't use the American flag.
I have, even beyond the fascist label, I have great distrust and great disdain for anybody claiming to be pro big government in any capacity that never leads to anything good. It kind of transcends the labels for me.
They would, and you know me, chat, I'm not quick to jump to misrepresenting people in the ways of the left here, but what I'm about to say is stuff that I have assessed from looking at their own beliefs, and I think is accurate. They are fascists for a racial rule in America. So they want to make it about race specifically.
Though.
There are hot people that don't have stupid teenage ideologies there, Die.
That is true.
So yeah, you're looking at him. How you doing?
There he is.
You're surrounded by two.
How you doing?
I'm not jumping the gun and call them fascist. Yeah, it's considered. But yeah, this meme from Sick Puppy is like, Sick Puppy seems like an okay guy, personally. I've had some brief interactions with him. But this meme is ridiculous. It's a self-parody. And chat reacted as such to it. You got 7 gay reactions, 6 cringe reactions, and 9 fed reactions to this. So there you go, thank you. It is nice to know that chat is not entirely against my ideology, my beliefs.
I'll see where they go, because like it's going to be interesting, like how either it'll go up in flames tremendously, or like a lot of people that have this grand idea of trying to save America or put these ideas join this, and then they just get fucking arrested for terrorism or something like that. That could be in the future, because this is what a lot of these turn into.
Well, Keith, that's what I said. Yeah, I think it's not only meant to denigrate MAGA, but to provoke MAGA as well with the Bud Light thing. What in so doing, it makes them look like they have just completely misunderstood modern politics, because the people who are not drinking Bud Light are MAGA people. They're the only people not drinking it. But that has caused a massive shift in the market. The actual effect that Patriot Front has had towards restoring a sensible US government, or just to defeating the establishment in general, is less than 0.1% of what MAGA's done. Much less than that, probably. And they're acting like, oh, because we're going out and marching, we're doing something. What if what you're doing looks active but doesn't help? It's very possible that could be the case, especially in the modern world.
I would love to see a video of them actively calling themselves a fascist, because like sometimes there's context missing where they're like, oh yeah, I'm totally a fascist, when they get called one, right? And then that gets taken out of context and being like, look, they're saying it. I've yet to see them actually claim it, but people have said that they've said it, but I haven't seen that yet. So
fair enough.
I want to see the full context.
Yeah, I would be reluctant to call them fascist based on, even if they say it or if they say they aren't it, that's not the end of the story. I base what I'm saying mostly on the ideas that they propose, which are clearly fascist. And of course, the fact that they have the fascies on their flag, which, yes, I know, is not uniquely a fascist symbol. It was used by the US long before the fascists started using it. But once the fascists started using it, it essentially has become a fascist symbol. And they're not using it for traditional reasons. They're using it because it's a fascist symbol. I think that's quite evident.
Did you read through their manifesto?
Yeah, their website.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. And Revelant says the leaders call themselves a fascist. I'm not sure I've seen that. I may have done, but I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, I call them that as a personal assessment. And I think it's a sensible one. But I think they have also said that they are as well.